Hi, I'm Celeste and welcome to Find Your Purple. Today is day 39 of my 40 days of reflection, and I wanted to mention the copper scrolls. We'll be talking a lot about them because I don't know a lot about them, but I'm going to be putting some links below where you can see their website and you can see a couple of the videos, and it just will lead you to the rest. But basically, it kind of gets to my point of how amazing it is that God has protected so many artifacts that are now coming to light. And as the time goes on, we get more and more proof that Jesus existed. Again, the case for Christ, Lee Strobel, an atheist, went out to prove Christianity was all built on a farce, ended up proving just the opposite, and he became a believer. He wrote the book, The Case for Christ. There was a movie. It's kind of good movie to just sit and watch with someone who is skeptical or on the fence or whatever, because he was very much a skeptic, and he just couldn't deny the facts. And then we have the copper scrolls. They're made of copper, where I think the story is that there were 4 prophets who actually pressed into the copper scroll so that it would last over the centuries. The locations of the treasures of Israel before they were conquered by Babylon, and including, it said they believed that it would include the Ark of the Covenant and the Tabernacle of Moses. And I mean, obviously all of this would be priceless, but it's again sat on the shelves for decades before it was brought up, and then an investigator from the United States was brought into the picture. He was, I think, also a biblical expert, but they ended up cutting the scrolls in pieces because they couldn't unroll it without it falling apart, so they cut it in strips, very obviously carefully, and then they spread the strips out, and then from there he was able to work with it to discover that what it was a series of locations of where they were hiding the treasures. And the reason they know it's 4 prophets is there's 4 sets of handwriting on it with 4 sets of directions, and I think there are 50 some sites that were identified as where they put the relics and the valuables, but they've gotten with, obviously, the Israeli government and all of that. It hasn't been as straightforward. There seems to be, digs were cut, the permissions were given, and then permits, and then pulled back. And so there seems to be a lot of, intrigue and mystery behind it as well. And as probably you would expect in something that would be so incredibly valuable. But I think the people whose hearts are in it, it's not about the money value of the items, it's just the magnitude of this kind of find and what it can show. So again, as we talk about faith this week, this isn't making me believe. I believe already, but seeing this information and knowing it will open other people's eyes to believe, it's, I think, pretty cool. And I think it all goes back to, it isn't a coincidence how this is all playing out, and God has just had a way to plan from the very beginning on how he wants things found and discovered, and how he's using people to come into the picture and with their skills, and it's a pretty incredible process. But anyway, in the comments below I will put a link to the videos, and there's more out there. There's a lot more information, but it's again called the Copper Scrolls Project. And if you like that kind of stuff, then start you on a journey. But I thought it was pretty cool when someone shared it with me in the last few weeks. That's it for now. As always, grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's start sharing. Until next time, bye-bye.